There you go.
All right.
Huh? Ready?
Yep.
Ready to rock. Ready to go.
You. Oh, okay. Sorry, missed the cue. Welcome to the Burn It Down NASCAR podcast, season ending after Phoenix. My general question every time. What'd you think?
The right person won. The better person was. How should I say it? The best driver of the four won the championship that day. Now, if I had to, obviously by points, he wasn't it, but the better driver that day of those four won, run it outright. Even though you sent me a screenshot of like overall points of like the old school way, he would have finished 13th if it was just like over based on points. This is the way this system is, and this it gives the underdog a chance to win, and I'm not mad about it. Oh, and you froze again. Why are you freezing?
12. Yeah, I'm not mad. It's just interesting to me. Uh there's this group that puts it out every year with what they call classic points.
The Winston Cup.
Yes. And I appreciate that. I truly do. Um I'm not going to bash it too hard being the playoff system. How do I put this the right way? I just don't think it's correct. Uh you you work all year to get to the championship. It's not, in my opinion. It's not like a 12 or 16 race season, and that's what they've broken it down into. I get this is what we have and this is what we do.
Okay.
All right. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I know there's going to be the naysayers that say, well, there's guys that have won championship, 2 to 3 weeks before the season has ended. And I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's the accumulation of the whole year's effort. If they smoked the whole crowd for the whole year, then they get that honor. I mean, I can remember years where the champion was declared a race or two or three
Beforehand.
before the end of the year. And all they had to do was start and park and not mess their shit up.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. And I also understand the other argument that this puts more excitement supposedly into the the whole deal. I'm 61 years freaking old. I like the way before where is more times than what I just talked about, it would come down to the last race and who finished above whoever. Does that make any sense? I mean, it if things had been up until t- the two from 1975 to 2003, which is right in my wheelhouse of when first started getting into watching, loving NASCAR. Martin Truex would be your champion today. And I'm telling you right now, I think he deserved it. Kyle Busch would be second. Christopher Bell would be third. Denny Hamlin would be fourth. Byron, Harvick, Chastain, Larson, Keselowski, and Chris Buescher would be your top 10.
Mm-hmm.
To me, and I know you don't necessarily agree with me on all of this. That's the way it should be. I you got Logano, last year's champion, and I should have looked it up. Being last year's champion, I don't know where he would have finished. And again, I understand that I'm being an old fart here. Because I don't know where Logano would have finished last year if it weren't for the playoffs and all that. But Blaney would have finished 12th. Stenhouse would have.
Chase Elliott would have won last year, old system. It would have been Chase by 53 points. Joe Logano would have been second. Ryder Blaney would have been third. Then Kyle, then Ross, then Christopher, then Truex, then Byron, Hamlin, and then Kyle Busch, and then Harvick. Last year.
Well, like I said, I appreciate why they're saying what they're saying. I just don't like. I guess I'm just an old fart that doesn't like changes. There was one thing I wanted to point out, and I'm reading through real quick. Uh, man, I think it was Chase Briscoe. I I'm trying. I'm sorry for the dead air here. I want to get this right. Chase Briscoe was penalized 360 points this year. In the old school system, and again, I know it's pissing up a rope here. Where is he? He would, again, in old school points. I had it. He finished in 31st place. You add those 360 points back in, would have given him 21 uh actually 2204 would have. Holy crap, where'd he go? Oh, I'm 30. That would have given him, well, it wouldn't have been that good. I just, like I said, I appreciate, and I don't want to say embrace. I don't like the playoff system because they're taking guys that have worked all year long and they have a bad race and they're out. You know what I'm saying? It should be a complete accumulation of the whole year. And there were guys that look at William Byron, won 6 races.
He had the best stats across everybody. I think I sent you that.
Yeah. But in the old system, he'd only finished 5th
Yeah, he had
because of the
problems.
races he missed. Uh Chastain would have finished, we went through it. But it just, they've taken away the complete year's effort and gone down to, basically a knockout.
Yep.
And I just don't like that. I just don't. Again, I understand. It is what it is, and that's what we have to deal with. And congratulations to Ryan Blaney. Uh, but at least we got to see the watermelon smash.
Barely. I saw, they showed it from a far distance. Like they were so concentrated on the championship. I get it, but like they were definitely not worried about Ross.
No. And I mean, again, in the old point system, Kyle Busch would have, everybody's bitching about how Kyle Busch was a non performer this year. Bullshit. He would have been second place. 80, well, almost 90 points. No, 80 points out. It's, again, I get it. I'm an old fart. I like when things went down to the wire. I would love to have seen Martin. especially with all of what he's gone through this year to get, you know, his another championship. Um, but all right, I'll get off of that. I know there's nothing we can do about it. I know it's not going to change. I just don't like it. I really don't. But we'll deal with it. So, overall on the race, what'd you think?
It was all right. It was interesting. I like I said uh who was it? The fight between not fight, but battle between Ross and Blaney was interesting. It was good. Like I said, it wasn't bad. So that's better than a boring race.
All right. I'm just saying it was. I wish things were different. Um, do you have anything more you want to talk about with that? I do want to point out, which is amazing because of the struggles that Ford has had
They
this
won both
year.
championships.
All three.
Well, I'm talking about last
Truck.
year and this year.
Yeah. But okay, great. Back to back for
Yeah.
Penske.
Well, Ford has been always
Um,
been the outlier. They haven't been the strongest car throughout all races, but then Ford wins both championships. Yet they're changing their car. Well,
yeah.
style of their car, and Toyota is too. Chevy's not, which I think like that's not unfair. Chevy should be upgrading their car if they get to. But I think Chevy's waiting for the Camaro to be out of
Out of production.
production for the new whatever car it be, Corvette or whatever. 'Cause I seen a Corvette concept and it looked good, but I don't know what car they're gonna go to.
Well, where I was going is
Yeah,
Ford won the Truck Series championship. They won the Xfinity and the Cup.
imagine Cole Custer getting kicked out of his car, the 41, yeah, the 41 in his Cup car, go to Xfinity and win the championship.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. Um, I mean, I drive a big ass Ford, so I was kind of, and I'm a Chevy fan. It's just the way it is. Um, Brad Keselowski, and then there were five. He had a son
Mm-hmm.
born championship weekend. He's got two girls and a boy, so congratulations to him. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be uh the gossip channel here, but I did not know this and learned it championship weekend. Byron and Ryan Blaney's sister
Yeah,
are a thing.
you didn't know
I
that?
did not
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, I knew that.
No, I thought that was pretty cool. Uh, Kudos to Kevin Harvick. Great career. Thanks for the memories. Do you remember it was a truck race when he was first getting his truck company going and he went flying across the hood of a truck. I think it was Greg Biffle that he was actually going after.
Mm-hmm.
But just it's cool. I did not remember and I had to look it up. He actually drove for Junior a couple of times
Yeah,
in
a
the
a
Xfinity.
lot of people drove for Junior.
Yeah, I thought I did not remember that, but and also he's not ruling out after he does his Fox contract, for the first half of the year getting back into an Xfinity race or a truck race. He says he's very open to that. So I thought that was really cool. Uh, I'm trying to read my own notes here. Hemrick. Uh, yeah, Hemrick admits to wrecking Hocevar on purpose in the truck finale. Uh, I don't have much else to say about that, but just pissed me off. TV ratings uh, for the final championship cup race was down on over 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Comes back to NASCAR needs to fix this stuff. It's ridiculous. A little funny note, Kevin Harvick buys Ricky Bobby's mansion.
Yeah, I heard. I seen. Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. I don't know what he's gonna do with it, but other than live there, but I think that's hilarious. I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah, I seen it. Seen that today too. I'm assuming North Carolina, but
Yeah, I'm assuming it's somewhere in North Carolina as well.
the home is located at a community on Lake Norman in Cornelius, North Carolina.
All right, Lake Norman, that's big.
Uh,
That's where all the NASCAR guys.
he purchased it in late October for 6.75 million. It was originally listed for 8.4, so he got a deal.
Yeah, he did. All right. We all know Shane Van Ginsburg is coming in with Trackhouse doing limited cup races, gonna do some truck races, gonna do some other thing, but he says he wants to be full-time NASCAR in 2025.
We better race everything he can then.
I, I like this. I really like uh that he's not just coming in storming in. He's gonna ease his way in. I I like him. I don't know why. Kind of like a maybe Marcus Ambrose type thing where you know, I've told you the story where a friend of mine and I got to be pit crew members vaccine when Marcus Ambrose was racing for Doherty. And it was cool. It was really cool, but he was so nice. We got to sit in the hauler with him, talk to him while he was going over race information. Uh and it was just hilarious because he kept referring to cup cars as tin lids. Um but another Aussie, and I just think it's awesome that he's coming in, and I hope his skill set is more than just road courses. I hope he takes 2024 and you know gets it together, uh, learn some other stuff with other uh, venues and stuff of that nature. But I thought that was pretty cool that he hopes to be full time in 2025.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do.
He does, but I think he's got the skill set to do it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And did you see the meme? Christopher Bell doing the ride wall and
Yeah.
Chastain saying too soon rookie or something like that.
Yeah.
I had to bring that up. That was fun. Um I got one more thing that I want to bring up, and it's kind of serious, and that's Ken Squire. Hall of Fame legend broadcaster for the sport. And again, as I said, I'm 61 years old. He's been a part of my NASCAR experience for basically the whole time. Um, People, he's not doing good. As I said, they've put him in hospice, and I know from personal experience when that happens, you might as well put a clock on it. Um, he was a good guy, and I can remember him calling races all the way back to when I basically started watching in 1979, the big brawl, wreck at Daytona where they got out and started left hooking everybody. And
Mhm.
uh he's a good guy. He was never what do I want to say, pro anybody or anti anybody. He just called it the way it was. But anybody listening to this, keep him in your prayers. He he's in his end days. It's Dave Moody yesterday on Sirius was talking about it, and he just it's sad. Uh, we're losing a great one, and I think by the next time you and I uh, sit down and talk, it's gonna probably be over. So, just wanted to point that out. And that is pretty much all I got. So, what do you got? Anything else?
No, I was looking. I didn't see anything. Like I said, there's not much going out. I mean, we know there's a new Ford design car coming out. We know there's a new Toyota. There's been a leak to the EV
They're saying
car.
that's going to be a completely different series.
Yeah,
The
yeah, it is. It's gonna be. It's
I
gonna.
still think it's
I
going to
think.
suck.
I feel it's gonna be in tandem to probably. I think it's gonna go ARCA, trucks, EV, Bush or whatever you want to call it, Xfinity, then Cup. Like that'll be like the way it's like organized. But like, I'm sorry, NASCAR is trying to make things cheap by what they're doing with scheduling and all these cars. But I'm sorry, that EV car is not gonna be cheap.
You think?
So I
And
don't
how
understand
many
how they
people do you think are going to
justify that.
watch that crap?
People will watch it because they want to see the cars explode.
And they will.
But when they realize they can't hear it like a NASCAR car, there's no way. Like
Well,
if the race, but the thing is, those electric cars can get up and scoot and quicker than normal cars, so that might be interesting on restarts. But like, other than that, I don't see it being any different than Cup. I don't know. I mean, how you gonna limit? How they limit a Cup car is by, plate racing. Now, how are you gonna limit an electric car when there's no plates, there's no motor? You're gonna put like a limiter on it or something to where it can only go 190 miles an hour. But like when you're in the draft, that limiter is gonna get over. You know what I'm saying? So how are they gonna? I don't know. There's certain things that doesn't make sense to that because with a fuel injection car, carburetor car, you can limit it by, like I said, a plate and whatnot. But also when you're in the draft, that won't matter. You're getting pushed. Now with your put a limiter on the electronic components in a draft, they're all going to go to the same speed, regardless if you're in a draft or not. So I don't know how they're gonna overcome that because they're all gonna be the same. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to get from being EV cars.
Whoa, which never works.
They're gonna lose money, go bankrupt. They'll try it for 3 years and then realize it's a bad idea, and it'll be never talked about again.
That's the way they go when they have a bad idea. They try it for 3 years, and when it doesn't work out,
Well, it'll come down. The racing may be good, but it's gonna come down to no one's gonna watch it, no one's gonna attend,
well, no.
and that's where their money is.
Site, for any true NASCAR fan, am I gonna check it out? Sure.
Yeah.
I am. But I'm going to be pissed. And I already know I'm going to be pissed before I even start watching it. That, again, I always point out, what is the S in NASCAR stand for? And they've gone totally away from that. I had a guy on True NASCAR Fans the other day. He's like, the only difference is the wraps on the cars. And that's base. I mean, there are a few
The bumpers are the only thing. The front bumpers are the only thing different on those cars, essentially.
But he's right.
Yeah.
What, you know? Again, I'm 61. I remember. Win on Monday, win on Sunday, buy on Monday. They were cars that they were racing that you could basically buy off the showroom floor. That's gone. It's totally gone. And NASCAR needs to understand that even though I understand that they're trying to get control of everything and make it fair, well, you know what? Life is not fair.
No.
It's not. And they need, I remember the days of the 3 Mile fuel line and all these other things they used to do. You can call it coloring the gray areas, you can call it cheating if that's what you want to do. I call it taking advantage of everything you can get to win a race. As long as they're stock cars. Richard Petty tells stories all the time about wrecking a car on Sunday, going down to the dealership and buying a new one right off the showroom floor. That's the way it should be. And I know it's a whole hell of a lot of extra work for NASCAR when they've got, Chevy, Ford, Toyota in the day, Dodge, AMCs, American Motors. Who else was involved?
Buick back in the day.
Buick, Oldsmobile, all of them. But they brought their stock that they made in the factory and then raced it. And I really believe that if NASCAR would get back to that and then regulate how again, I don't even know what they should regulate. I again, bring your best stuff. Bring what run what you bring. I don't know why they think they have to make the playing field even. I just don't get that. If you've got a better idea, if you can make it work better than your competitor, let them figure it out and bring it, up to, I back in the again, several years ago, Jack Roush whining about the Fords had a disadvantage. Well, change models, fix it. You know, again, Fords are well, can't say that because they won all three major championships. They had a disadvantage all year long on aero due to the body style that they picked, where Chevy and Toyota went with the other option of the two that they had. And somehow they pulled a big ass fish out their ass and won all three which
Mm-hmm.
was amazing in the truck series. Just because there's not a whole lot of Ford trucks in the truck series. But they won it all. So back to the competition, they figured it out or figured it out enough to get to the trophy. And I miss that. I again when you were a young kid and we went to the campgrounds, can you remember the models
Yeah.
that some of those guys brought into the campgrounds?
Yep.
And they were street legal, but looked exactly like the stuff they were racing on the track. And all that crap's gone. So, all right, I'll let that rant go. I'm done. I just I miss those days.
Yep.
I miss those stock days. I miss going out into the vendor lot and buying die casts and any more not of what they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a whole 4 or 5 boxes full of die casts up in the attic. Those are real cars,
Mm-hmm.
all 124s, and it's like, man, or no, they're 118s actually. But it's just you can't do that anymore. I mean, we used to when we went to the track, we spend a day or two just going through the vendors, and they
Yeah.
kicked all of them out. So, all right, I'm done bitching.
You're fine.
Anything else you want to talk about other
Mm,
than the next race we got is the Coliseum, which is BS, but
no, I don't. I don't see anything.
nah.
BJ McLeod sold his car.
Isn't he racing uh with Spire?
Oh. Spire 77 and 7. BJ McLeod sells NASCAR charter.
But I thought he was going to Spire.
BJ McLeod's? Oh, it did. It did sell the
Uh,
Spire. You're right. You're right.
okay. I
Yeah,
just want.
sold the Spire. It's right. Okay. I thought it was a different car charter, but yes,
Yeah,
you're right.
and he's racing the, as if I remember correctly, without looking it up, he's doing the plate tracks and he's trying to put together a road course schedule.
Yeah, then I don't see anything else. We'll probably get more in the off season of where drivers are going and sponsorships and stuff like that. But other than that, it's mainly drivers taking the month off and then they're gonna go back testing.
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson has announced also he is gonna race a few more times next year.
Well, that's the Toyota deal, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, all right, we don't want to bore everybody. Um, I'm done. Can't say that we'll be back exactly next week, but as things happen in the off season for the next what 6 8 weeks,
Yeah, ish.
um, we'll be on here and there. Um, I enjoy. Uh, I'm a lucky guy. I get to talk NASCAR with my son. And I appreciate the hell out of that. And I hope other people will come listen
Yeah.
to us and give us some feedback. But other than that, unless you got anything else,
Nope, that's it.
all right, everybody. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. I'm sure we'll be on before Christmas, so we'll do that then. But love your family. Uh, I'm done.
All right.